Hey, welcome everybody. This is the fifth Newcomers meeting. I'm very proud to say that, having started that the entire initiative a month ago. So today we are welcoming Hacktoberfest participants. For anybody who doesn't know yet, Hacktoberfest is an event organized by GitHub and MLH for the month of October, where you have to make about 4 peers to any accepted organization to win a pretty cool Hacktober t-shirt, or in this year to have a tree planted in your name, alternatively. And we have a set of pretty cool tutorial planned for you by Vijay. Apart from that, we also have introduction to all the projects. I just sent a link to the meeting minutes in the chat. So here at Layer5, the meeting minutes are communal. Please do jump in. If you do not have access, please signal in the chat. We'll get you access. And please do add your names to the list. Please do add any topics to the agenda that you wish to discuss. And welcome. If you're new on the call and haven't been with us before, please do go ahead and introduce yourself. If there are any Hacktoberfest participants who are not in the Layer5 community yet, please do speak up, introduce yourself. We don't bite. Not on a good day anyway. All right. All right, we'll start in about a minute.
Sure. Do you want me to introduce myself?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, I'm getting technical difficulties here. I was going to say if I should introduce myself, but my screen just messed up.
Oh, sure.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So if you guys can still hear me, my name is Benjamin from Nashville. I just recently studied mechanical engineering in college and then finding ways to try to get involved in Meshery and Layer5. So it's good to be here.
Great. You're welcome to the community, Benjamin. Are you on Slack yet?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. You're very welcome. Please do add your name to the meeting minutes and we'll get you officially voted. Thanks. All right. Does anybody else want to introduce themselves before I start calling out on people to do the same?
Hi, mic check.
Yep, you're audible.
Hi, so my name is Daniel from Kampala, Uganda. So I found Layer5 through Hacktoberfest. And yeah, pretty excited to be here.
That's great, Daniel. You're very welcome in the community. Please join Slack if you haven't already. I'll send you a link.
Yes, I'm on Slack.
Oh, great. That's fast. You're very welcome. Hey.
Hello, my name is Sangam Biradar. Is it audible?
Yep, you're audible.
Yeah, so my name is Sangam Biradar. I am from Bangalore. I run a few communities, cloud native communities in Bangalore, Docker Bangalore community, Octato, and some of other community around cloud native. And I like the product already. Whatever layer 5 people working, and it's like I want to share my knowledge and I want to learn from you guys also. So I'm very new to Slack channel. That's it.
It's wonderful to have you, Sangam. That's funny. I've actually lived in Bangalore before. That's great. You're welcome to the community. Please do get more involved. I'm looking forward to have you.
Hello.
Hey, Sudai, go ahead. Yep, you are. You're audible, Sudai. Go ahead. Sudai? All right. I guess he's having some audio issues. We'll circle back to you. Anybody else?
Hi Shruti, am I audible?
Yep, you are.
Yes, sir. Hi guys, I'm Chanakya. I'm a final year undergrad at IIT Bhubaneswar. I was a Google Summer of Code participant at the CodeNS Foundation, and I'd love to be a part of the Layer5 community as well.
Hey, Shanaka. If I'm right, you just ended your GSOC period with CNCF, right?
Yeah, I just finished it I think a month back.
Nice. We can use your talents. It's great to have you.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Hello, this is Tejas. Am I audible?
Yep, you are audible.
Yeah, actually, I'm new to this community. I have never contributed to open source before, but I wish to learn about. I actually came to know about Layer5 through Hacktoberfest, so I'm looking forward to contribute to this community.
That's great. That's great. You would have received a member form, if I'm not wrong, yesterday, I think.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Yeah, please do fill it up. We'll help you get onboarded. We'll help you get set up.
Actually, I filled the form, another form which was available on the Slack, that questionnaire. I filled that one, but I think you have sent me the Google document, not the Google form, I think. So
Yep, it's a document.
So I have to fill that document as well.
We would like you to.
Okay,
it'll help you get us to know you better, and it'll help us get you started.
Yeah, fine. I'll fill that as well.
Great. It's really nice to have you, Tejas. All right. Hey, Dee.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Faith. Go on.
Sorry for the interruption. Hi, everyone.
Hey, go ahead. No interruption. Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Faith Mura from Kenya. I'm new to Slack, and I'm also new to Layer5. And I learned about Layer5 when I looked at your channels. The GitHub first timers, most of it was from Layer5 contributions. So I'm a technical writer by profession, and I'm here to contribute and to learn more. I don't understand much about Meshery, but I think that is the product that I would most likely find myself contributing into.
That's great. You're very welcome here, Faith. We'll get you set up. I can see Lee jumping in a seat, and I think we'll have to give him the mic soon. But we'll get you set up. We'll get you involved in the Meshery project as soon as possible. I'll ping you in Slack. I'll help you get onboarded. You're very welcome in the community. Thanks for being here. Hey.
Am I audible?
Yep, Sudai, go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. So this is Sudai from Tamil Nadu in India.
Hey.
So I'm new to the open source community, and I've done 2 contributions so far, both being for Layer5. So I'm pretty excited to get going.
Great, then we were here first. That's pretty cool. Are you in Slack?
Yes, I am.
That's great. I think you would have received a member form yesterday too from me. If you haven't,
yeah, I got that, and I had intimated you that I'll be doing it this evening. I'll do it.
Oh yeah, yep, I remember now. Thank you for that message. Thank you for being so quick about it.
No
Great,
problem.
it's wonderful to have you in the community.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yep, you are. Hey, Joseph.
I'm Joseph. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a front-end developer. Actually, I'm a new member in this community. I'm happy to be among. Thank you.
It's great to have you, Joseph. You've been, I think you came into the community about a month ago, right?
Yes. But actually, I've not been active all the way because I have some other things I'm doing.
That's nice. That's wonderful. It's great to have you. We'll get you more involved, hopefully soon enough.
No problem.
Thank you for speaking up. Hey, thank you. Anybody else? I think I saw somebody. Sagar? Utikar? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I've been part of this community, but I took some rest, and I started. I just want to start again contributing. So I joined this call. Yeah.
Sure. Are you participating in Hacktoberfest this year?
Yeah, I've been participating in the Hacktoberfest from last 3-4 years. So yeah.
Damn, we have old timer with us. That's great. We'll get you involved. That's great. Thank you for introducing yourself.
Yeah.
I saw somebody else join the call. Anybody else? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this right, but Jose Carlo?
Hey, my name is Jose Carlos. I'm from Mexico. I'm currently working in Dallas. I'm a backend developer. I'm working in, I don't like much the front end, but I started with React. I am most like the backend part, so I'm working at IBM with PHP, and now I try to move to Laravel 8 and all that stuff. And I knew all this stuff, so basically I'm learning this.
That's great, Jose. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Jose?
Yes, Jose.
Great. Great. It's wonderful to have you in the community. We'll get you onboarded. We'll get you started. Are you on Slack?
No, I'm not yet. I started with that stuff.
Sure. Please do join. I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Great. All right. Lee, did you have something to say?
I have all kinds of horrible, bad jokes to say and ask. I just, well, first, just, Jose, is it Jose or is it Jose?
It could be both. In original it's Jose Carlos, because I'm from Mexico, but could be both. No problem for that. The pronunciation is the less problem.
No worries. I'll learn your pronunciation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Shruti, that wasn't aimed at you in any way. It was because when Jose introduced, he repeated what you had said, which was Joseph. So I got all confused. Speaking of enunciating people's names, I really want to clarify on Mr. Thacker's first name. And so by the way, I'm joining into the community from Austin, Texas. And actually, speaking of Jose and Mexico, a lot of times people in Texas will enunciate the word Texas as Tejas. And so, Mr. Thacker, I was hoping that your first name was enunciated Tejas, because that
No, it's Tejas.
No, it's Tejas.
Oh, okay.
Tejas.
All right. I'll keep my disappointment to a minimum, but cool.
All right. We'll get started now because there's a long agenda and they're already behind. Is anybody else left out? I don't think they are. I see a lot of old timers here.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, Vic. Go ahead.
Yes, can I introduce myself because here everyone is a newcomer.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello everyone. Myself Vijay Cherukuri from Indore, India, and I am also new to this contribution. And currently I am out of station, so I won't be able to contribute right now. But after 3 or 4 days, I will be there.
Sure. We'll be looking forward to have you. Enjoy your vacation, if it's a vacation.
Okay.
Sure. All right. Moving on. Let me just share my screen. All right. The meeting minutes that you see on screen right now are a communal effort. There's a link to in the chat, I think. It's been sent several times. If you do not have access to it, please signal so in the chat. You'll be granted access. You should have access to this. All right, moving on. Please add your names to the attendees list here. It will inform us that you're in the meeting if you come back to check ever. All right. Well, Nicole, do you want to introduce the side projects for us once?
Yeah. So,
Yep, you are. Before you do, let me just give a general overview.
sure.
Yeah, sure. So on this call today, we usually take up any newcomer issues that, any newcomer has. We discuss them, we talk about them in a safe environment. No judgments here. You can ask as silly a question as you want, and it will be answered. But for the month of October, we converted to having Hacktoberfest meetups instead. It'll be the same kind of event, and same kind of meetings. We'll still have tutorials, still have questions, but it will be more Hacktoberfest oriented, so that you're able to make those 4 PRs and grab your swag or plant a tree, either of the two. And Lee is making something which I hope is a joke. All right. Yeah, so today, starting out, we have a general overview of all the Layer5 projects and the repositories, which will hopefully help you find your way around and pick up any domain that you want to actually get involved in. Nikhil, who is called on, is one of the side project maintainers and is one of the best people you can be involved in if you want to work with any web dev projects or any UI projects. He's agreed kindly to introduce the projects today. Moving on, we also have a tutorial from Vijay, who has also kindly consented to do an entire tutorial on Meshery and on running Meshery CTL. So all the people who just said that they wanted to start out with Meshery, you could not have a better place to start out with. And apart from that, we also have a list of resources for you. We have a lot of things planned for you, but starting out, Nikhil, go ahead.
Okay, so before I start with it, I would like to introduce myself. So, this is Nikhil Adaya. I've been contributing to Layer5 since 1 year. In fact, it's more than 1 year. I started last year, August, and since that, I've switched many positions. So currently, I'm a contributor / meshmate / maintainer / the actor, which was the thing I got recently, which position I get. So here it is. I've been mostly involved in the front-end part of at Layer5. So most of the issues which I've been working on is front-end oriented. I've been in the back-end part of it related to Meshery, but mostly to front-end. And at Layer5, we have 4 sites currently, but soon it will be 6 to 3. And referring to UI, we have projects based on React, Gatsby, Jekyll, and HTML CSS is the backbone of all of them. So if any one of you are interested, I would like to share this screen. Okay, if Shruti or Sherry can list all the websites and show all of them.
Yeah, sure. You can actually go ahead and share your screen. I'll just stop. I'm having a bit of an issue with Zoom. Just give me 1 second. I'll actually have to rejoin the meeting. Go ahead and share your screen, Nikhil. I'll be back in. There's a lot of background noise on your side. Yeah.
Okay, just a second.
Sure. Perfect. I'll join back in like 10 seconds. I'm having a bit of an issue with Zoom. Please do go ahead and introduce the side projects. Nikhil?
Yeah. So is it better now?
Yep, it is better. Almost better.
So unless you stop sharing, yeah, now I can. Thank you. Okay, so yes, so this is the Layer5 repo. We have around 41 repositories in this, out of which 3 of them are mostly oriented to the website, which is the Layer5 site, which currently we have 2 of them because this is the old site which is based on Jekyll, and a new one is being developed using Gatsby and Strapi. Gatsby is basically a framework which is based on React itself, and we will be using Strapi to share data with the website for blogs and other purposes. So this is a site which is in development currently, and we have a lot of open issues and many tasks which has to be done. So anyone interested in contributing to React or Gatsby or anything to front end, we are more than welcome to have them here and be a part of it. Other than that, which is currently we are using, which is a Layer5 site, which is based upon the Jekyll framework, which is running currently on the Layer5.io domain. You can go and have a look at it. It lists all the projects that we have at Layer 5 and all the community members as well, blog posts from different contributors, maintainers, and other people who have come eventually and contributed at Layer 5. Other than that, we have the Meshery.io site, which is one of the important slash biggest projects slash the first project at Layer 5, which has a site of its own, which lists the overview, everything about Meshery itself. So you can go and have a look at it. We have open issues around it, few of them, and Meshery has been participating in CNCF and GSOC 2020 itself. Hopefully, we'll be participating and in 2021 also. And also, we have another site which has been developed recently by Shriti and another contributor named Muskan, which was brought up recently, a few months back. But the way it is right now, the credit goes to one of our contributor, Neil, which is Pratibha Banerjee also. It's called Pratibha Banerjee also. It's been up and running very nicely and very smooth. Previously, it wasn't like this, but yeah, he has done a fantastic job in this site and developing this. So currently, we are out of issues for this one. I guess we are one or two, but our main focus is around this site, which is a new site which has been developed, the Layer 5 NG site, which is based on Gatsby and React. So if any one of you are interested, you are more than welcome, and do welcome in the website. More than welcome in the website channel. Feel free to ping me or anyone else. We'll be happy to guide you there. Also, if you are interested in React but not in this, we have our Meshery UI, which is based on React itself, and there are many open issues related to front end in Meshery, where you can go and have a look at. So this is basically the Meshery UI part, the code for the Meshery UI. We have the components for each and every thing in the React in the Meshery UI, and you can go and have a look at it. So yes, that's all about the front end and the sites part at Layer 5.
Hey, Nicole, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you for the presentations. If anybody wasn't able to completely hear Nicole's audio, we'll be adding the same intro in text in the meeting minutes. I'll be updating it as the meeting goes on. Moving on, introducing the other projects, as we have Lee here today. Well, Lee, would you want to give a short introduction on Meshery or SMP?
Yeah, sure. Just to rephrase, was the question on Meshery specifically, or the collection of projects?
Collection of projects, please, because we already have Vijay's expertise on Meshery today.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So great. Nikhil had just covered the fact that there's a number of initiatives that are active in the community. Most of them have, well, from simple to complex sites that describe their purpose and features and functionality. Most of the sites run on Jekyll. There's 5 sites, 4 that are on Jekyll, and 1 that's being migrated away from Jekyll to Gatsby. All 5 of which are, if you're fairly early, both in your open source contribution experience and fairly early on in terms of your software engineering, your programming, those are pretty forgiving areas to jump into. So that's highly encouraged. There's a call every Monday that focuses just on the websites. It's about this same time on Monday. There's a community calendar that's linked inside of the meeting minutes. So those are them. There's another document that, as I speak to it, I'm sure a link to it will show up inside of the meeting minutes. There's a document that gives a short overview of all of the repositories that are within the Layer 5 IO GitHub org. Nikhil had said that there were 30 plus of them. That's right. I think we just added one yesterday. The one that we added yesterday was for Strappy. Strappy is another open source project that will be marrying up to one of the sites. Strappy is a content management system, and it is open source, and we will take and deploy an instance of it. We're just about to start that project, and so no one in the community here is a Strappy expert, or all of us are Strappy dummies, I guess is what I would say. So we'll be learning together. That's kind of a theme of what we do a lot of times is learn together in general. A lot of the projects that we do are done in context of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, the CNCF, the foundation that has Kubernetes and a whole host of other projects. It is our intention that at least 2 of the current projects will, that they would head into the CNCF. So Meshery and the Service Mesh Performance Project, SMP. Those 2 will be proposed for adoption. I would be dumbfounded if they didn't make it in. And so I think part of the point of that is that probably the biggest point of that is that these are great projects for you to engage in, not only because you'll hopefully find that it's a warm community, but and a forgiving community, but also because the projects themselves should attain new heights. I mean, the intention for Meshery is to become something of a household name for those that are doing cloud native, that are doing things instead of cloud native, that are doing things with a service mesh. Those last 2 words, service mesh, I expect that that is entirely unfamiliar to almost most of us here. Vijay is going to talk about service meshes briefly today, but there are other workshops coming forth to help people learn Docker, learn Kubernetes, learn service meshes. So I'll wrap up. We'll put the link to the overview of the repositories so that you can quickly browse to see if that project and its purpose is of interest, and also that project and its technologies are of interest. So, cool.
All right, there's already a link to that in the meeting minutes, the Layer5 repository overview in the navigation bar for anybody who wants to take a look at everything that Lee just said. And moving on, we've introduced the website projects, the Meshery projects. I'm just running my mind. All right, we'll start with that later. We can now have the tutorial on Meshery and running Meshery CTL by Vijay. Calling a new Vijay, if you're ready.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
All right. So I will try and speak to you a little bit about Meshery, what I've learned here. And this is still an ongoing project. I'm still learning. Now, I know that a lot of you here are newcomers, but you may be newcomers to Meshery, but you may have a lot of knowledge of other things. So in any case, let's start off with Meshery. I will try to speak to you about what Meshery is, what it does, and give you hopefully a brief introduction to how to set up your Meshery development, what the various directory structure looks like, and you're free to ask any questions as we go along. Now,
Are you trying to share your screen, Vijay?
yes. Can everybody see this?
Not yet.
You can see it?
Nope, nope, not yet. But Shriti, maybe if you don't mind, if you're able to share.
Yeah,
the
sure,
slides.
sure.
And Vijay, you can give her a proverbial next.
Okay. All right.
Sure. Let me just open it. I'll just present. Go ahead. Go ahead, Vijay.
Okay. So this is
Did I open the wrong link?
yeah. So this is an introduction to contributing to Meshery. So actually, you know what? I cannot.
You can't see it?
Yeah, I can see it. So so let's turn to the next page.
Oh, sure.
And then Shriti, we're ready for slide 2.
It has been moved.
Oh, weird. Bandwidth.
Oh, is there a lag?
No, we still see the first one slide.
Yeah.
And then the second one.
No, actually, I'm sorry. You know, the Shriti, I can see your screen. It says your name is there. No. Hold on.
Weird. Yeah, weird. Yeah, maybe it stopped sharing earlier.
Let me just reshare.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that now.
Nice.
Great.
It says okay. So here is the agenda today. Okay. I'm sorry about this. I know it's a bad start, but you know, hopefully it'll get better. So here are the things that we are going to look at today. You know, what is Meshery? What does Meshery do? How do you run Meshery? Set up your Meshery development environment. What is in the development environment? So let's go on to the next. Okay. So what is Meshery? So you see, it says right there, this the service mesh management plane. So, you know, we are trying to do something special here. So this is the only place that we do, and it provides interoperability between multiple service meshes so that you can operate service meshes with confidence, with operational best practices, compare apples to apples performance across service meshes, and understand the behavioral differences between service meshes, and you can track your application performance from version to version. So let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so let us stop here, and we will talk again about the previous slide, but let us go back and see what exactly is a microservice. It is a microservice is an architecture. It is a variant of the many architectural styles that we had from, you know, from the old days when you had DLLs, shared libraries, and so on and so forth. And it is a variant of the service-oriented architectural style. It arranges applications as a collection of loosely coupled services. Now, these services are fine-grained and the protocols are lightweight. Now, this is important because in a cloud environment, there is you have the scope of the application is much greater, and you have the possibility of sharing this services across multiple applications. So it is again, another step forward in sharing. And let's go on to the next slide. So what is a service mesh? A service mesh is actually what manages the microservices. It is okay.
Godwill, could you mute your mic, please?
Okay, can we go to the previous slide?
Yep, sorry, Vijay, I got all turned. I probably clicked the wrong thing. 5?
Yeah, the one after the microservices. Okay, we have the next one.
All right.
Okay, so we talked about microservices, and obviously a service mesh manages microservices, and it has you can see that I have some references that are marked there, and you can read some more about what a service mesh is and how exactly it controls these microservices. You will read about data planes and control planes and so on and so forth. But I will not take up your time here, and we will go on to see how to run Meshery. Now, I've given you I've given you a small link there, so that will take you to the installation guide, and that will show you what are the instructions. You already have this on the Meshery website, and it'll show you how to install Meshery for various platforms. As you can see there, those are the popular installers, and based upon what kind of platform you have, you can run Meshery on that particular platform. So now let's go on to the next slide. So here is your development environment. Okay? So again, it is based upon your particular environment. Now, depending upon what your particular platform is, sometimes some things come with the OS, and some of the things they don't come with the OS. You have to set up your environment yourself, and that is especially the case for Windows. So if you're programming on Linux, etc., you have a lot of things that already come, like make, etc. Now, in this particular session, I will touch a little bit upon Windows. Now, it is very useful. In fact, I suggest that you have the Git bash. Install Git for Windows on your Windows platform, and use Git bash for setting up your development environment. And the reason for that is Git does a much better job of translating the slash and the backslash so that the make files that do not break. So if you want to say, if you're running on Windows, I suggest that you fork the Meshery repo, and there you have the URL that you need to use. So basically, you would say git clone, and the command is written right there. Now, like I said, you will have a lot of issues. The most important things are, first of all, a lot of the programs are written in Go. So you will need to install Go on Windows. So so just do a Golang, and then follow the instructions. You will need to set up make, and again do the same thing. Go to Google, do a search for make, install make, and the other thing is you have to remember to set up the paths for all applications that you install on Windows. Now, one of the things that you will need to run this is Docker desktop, and we will just come to that. But the other thing is that when you're doing the make, you will find that it will need Node.js, and you will need to install Node.js that will actually install npm, which is used in the make process. Now, the good thing about developing on Linux is it gives you pointers. It's it'll tell you what to do. Unfortunately, in Windows, it doesn't do that. But you will be able to set up your development environment and run it, because I have done that. Now, there are two ways of running Meshery on Windows. One is you can run Meshery in the native mode, or you can run Meshery in WSL or WSL2. Now, I've set up WSL2 on my laptop, and at one time I think I tried to do something with WSL also. Now, it's been a while since I set up WSL2, but at the time that I set up WSL2, it was not available, and you had to be a member of the Windows Insider program, which I became. Now, I don't think that is necessary anymore. However, you will then be able to install WSL2. I think there are usually you can use a PowerShell command, or you can go into Windows, turn Windows features on and off to be able to use this WSL2. Again, do a quick Google, and if you have any issues along the way, contact, put your questions in the environment, in the general thread, or send a message to somebody, and they will pick it up, or you can send the message to me, and I will try to help you, or get in touch with somebody that can help you. The other thing is, you can, but to run WSL2, you have to have Windows Pro. It will not run on home. And if you have WSL2, the other thing that you can consider is you can turn on Hyper-V, and then you will be able to set up your own development environment on the Hyper-V after you set up your machine. Now, coming to Docker.
If you can slightly interject here.
Okay.
With the recent release of the WSL2, we're updating the documentation in this as well. You can actually run WSL2 on Windows Home. I am running it.
Okay.
That's an older version of it. I think Ameya asked the question. We'll be updating the documentation soon enough. I'll add a link or send a link to the general channel Slack. Vijay, please continue.
Okay. Thank you, Shriti, for that information. And again, these slides will be available online, and you can look at it. And of course, as a lot of things change, so things will be necessary to make changes to these documents as we go on. Now, I've already somewhere, just when you're running these make and things like that, when you're setting up and Node.js and you're setting up all these things, um, somewhere you will also have to install GCC. So again, install GCC. That is the that is the C compiler for Windows. Again, set up the path for that, and you should be able to run Meshery on Windows. Now, I don't. Let me try to share my screen here. I don't know if,
the organizer can change the permissions. They have made some changes, I suppose, to permissions.
okay. So in any case, if you need any help on running on Windows, please contact me because I did run Meshery on Windows both in the native format and also using WSL2. And of course, I've gotten a lot of help from a lot of people like Shriti and Kush, and of course Lee knows Lee knows the project inside out. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I will try to answer them for you. Now, let us go back and look at the screen where we have the Windows the directory. So we see that when you get the Meshery set up using the Git clone, you will see that particular structure that was there on that is there on the right, and you will see that Meshery CTL, and there you have the make files, and then you have some directories that are not quite so obvious, but there are some places of immediate interest. You can see that there is a directory called UI, and I know that a lot of you have been talking about UI, and a lot of you know I've shown a lot of interest. So you can look at that, and you can also go to the Meshery CTL. In the Meshery CTL, you will see that there is a program called main.co, and then it calls. There is a direct relationship between the directory structure in Meshery CTL and the actual commands that you can give on the command line. So if you go to the command line, if you type Meshery CTL, it'll show you a list of all the various commands, and then you can also get help on what those are. There is a brief, briefly, the Meshery CTL command is followed by another keyword, and this is start, which will actually start Meshery on your desktop. It is update, and it is version, and it is cleanup. So you can see those things. So you can start playing with that. Now, you are all members of this team now. So you have access to all the people who are here and who know about this thing. And you're free to look at this software and come up with new stuff. So at this time, I think I will conclude. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Does anybody have any questions apart from the WSL2 thing? We'll be updating the documentation and that's soon enough. You'll find instructions from basic Google search as well. It definitely can be run on Windows Home if anybody is still wondering. I am running it currently. And if you have any doubts, please do ping me. I'll help you out as much as I can. Not an expert, but still. Any questions on Vijay's presentation? Anybody? Oh.
I've got a couple of items. Well, one, just there are more familiar names on this call than there are unfamiliar, which is really nice. One of the things that for my part, that I selfishly get out of spending time in the community is to get to know each of you, which is really nice. Most of you I've had, for my part, a one-on-one call or multiple one-on-one calls, which is pretty neat. I always get to take something away. But I wanted to ask, speaking of takeaways, it's kind of what I wanted to ask, two quick questions. And we can either use like the symbols inside of Zoom itself to facilitate this, or if people just want to sound off in the Zoom chat, or if you can't find either of those two things in Zoom, fine, just do it in Slack. I'm curious, like, and you don't have to fall into one of these two buckets. Make up your own bucket, it's fine. But to make sure that sort of as we get toward the end of the call, to get each of you sort of oriented in the right directions. Who is here for back-end things, you know, Go, Rust, Docker, Kubernetes, Service Mesh, those types of things. And I guess if that's the case, like maybe type Go into the chat because it's just a quick Go. And then if you're here for HTML, CSS, React.js, Billboard.js, Cytoscape.js, which some of you, I'd be surprised if many of you have seen that, but it's a really exciting project with Cytoscape.js. What were the other JSs? Next.js. Some Material UI is part of the design framework that we use. Gatsby. If that's more your flavor, then instead of typing Go into the chat, type JS. And that way we'll take a note and try to make sure to send a quick link or something to each of you to kind of point you in the right direction. Also, one of the goals that we have is to make sure that, each of you get around a little bit, not necessarily in a sleazy way, but in a very friendly and social way. I think it's quite nice that there are any number of people here that are really good on a particular piece of technology or a language. And so to be able to introduce you to them is pretty nice as well. Because if they join the community and they're still here, which a lot of them are, that means that they too really like interacting with others and engaging with others. So this is great. I think I'm seeing, you know, most of you have sounded off, and if you can't find the chat in Zoom to say you're interested in these areas, then find Vijay, Shriti, Nikhil, myself, Kaleche is here as well, Ruth is here. There's a number of Meshmates that are here. And if you don't know, Meshmates are people who are dedicating part of their life, part of their time to engaging with you just in this very fashion. Like newcomer, they get super excited and kind of drool over newcomers. So they're here for you. Shriti will put a link to the Meshmates program in the Zoom so that you can go. Well, I'll use the word harass them in the like the kindest of ways. They want to engage with you. So who's got, what else do we have? Who's got questions? Who doesn't? I assume that most of you, if this is your first time on one of these calls, you're thinking, this was mostly nice, yeah, but I really still don't know quite where to jump in. Like, and if that's you, then I also have a couple of links for you. One of those is fairly prominent on Nikhil had said that Meshery is the largest project that we have. And it is, it's the first one that we got started with. And it's the most complex too. It'll tickle your noodle. You should learn something if you engage in this project. And if you don't, then I really want to spend time with you because I've got things to learn from you. The reason I point it out though is on each of the repositories, there should be a fairly consistent link. And it highlights the help wanted label, which we tried to use pretty consistently. This link is slightly special because it will retrieve any issue within the org, so across all the repos that is identified as ideally being delivered by someone who didn't open the issue. So that's a really good resource. We'll put that one here. Shriti, that's probably it for me.
Great, thanks, Lee. Also, Vijay, thank you for the presentation. Vijay kindly consented to give us this really long presentation and prepared for it so much. Thank you so much, Vijay.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sure. Moving on, a couple of resources for anybody who's willing to participate in the Hacktoberfest or who's just getting started, basically. You'll find a resources list here. Let me just pull this. All right. Lee was just talking about meshmates. Just let me talk about it for 10 seconds more. So meshmates are people who will help you get involved in the community, will help you get onboarded, will help you get started in the community. You can contact any of them that you choose to, and I'm sure you'll get a reply. You can also contact me or Lee if you want to. They are experts in their particular domains and have been chosen specially for this. Vijay is one of them. Another thing that you might want to have a look at is the Hacktoberfest post. You'll find another list of resources here, another list of details here on anything else that you might need up. If you want to sign up for the Hacktoberfest, there's a link here. Please do go ahead and do so. There's a list of beginner-friendly issues. There's also a questionnaire that you might want to fill out, which some of the newcomers have already done. But if you haven't, please do go fill out. We'll appreciate it. It's simply a questionnaire to get your opinions, to get your views on how we can help you in a better way. And that's it, I guess. Also, if you still are not clear on which domain to start on, or you are clear in the domain but don't know where to start with, this is the perfect place to do that. Simply drop your name, add a comment, drop your name here, and we'll reach out to you with either issues or with suggestions how you can start out. If you are, well, if you're shy of the public eye, you can instead ping me on Slack and I'll have to get started out. You can also stand are completely irritated by it because I've been ramming on for a long time now. And that's it. We'll have Hacktoberfest meetups the rest of the October, which is 3 more meetings, I think. Happens at the same time on the same day. That is on Thursdays, 8 to 9 a.m. CT, Central Time, or 6:30 to 7:30 IST, Indian Time. And that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for coming in, everybody. Thank you for spending an hour with us. Thank you for listening to me blabber on. Please do come back next Thursday with us, and we'll get you started with a few more tutorials. We'll get you started with a few more resources, and we'll smother you until you decide to participate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Bye bye.